And we are rolling. This is it. This is episode 403 of No Laugh Track podcast here at Acme Comedy Company in Minneapolis. I'm Justin Severson. As I say every week, the lucky guy who gets to come and host this thing because I get to hang out with awesome people. For the third time in my life, I get to spend a little time with Greg Behrendt.
Yeah, holy shit. What a treat for the listener.
Well, that's why I'm here. I'm a vessel. I'm their connection. I'm their...
How many have you done now? 400?
I'm their sixth degree from people like you.
Yeah, you've done how many now? 400?
403.
Jesus.
403. And I mean, if we really want to analyze that, there's been more that have not survived, computer crashes and stuff like that.
Yeah, sure.
So, I mean, I don't even get to count those in the 403.
Wow, that's incredible.
Even more.
That's incredible.
But I'm curious. But if we added up all the podcasts that you've been on, and all the various ones, it might be more than that.
I've been on quite a few podcasts.
Yeah. And the one you were doing last time you were here, which was 2018, I don't think you're doing anymore. Is that right? Relationship with your...
No, it's not the one.
Maybe it's you.
Maybe it's you. I'm not. I'm doing... We found that it was you're married, you don't need that extra pressure of a podcast.
Interesting.
Yeah,
okay, so I got to hop in. I listened back to that episode from 2018 and us discussing that. And I had to hop in here because at one point you said that doing that podcast may have helped save your marriage.
I think at the beginning it was super helpful. And then it just got to be intense. And talking about relationship and talking about our relationship and what I was going through at the time and that kind of stuff. And it just seemed like a little bit much.
Okay.
And we just wanted to just go back to being husband and wife.
Yeah.
So
now you're saying that not doing a podcast with your wife saved your marriage?
Yeah, exactly. It did at the beginning, and then it's enough.
Yeah.
And then it was enough.
Well, I think it's good to know when it is enough.
But I started another podcast.
Yeah, I know.
About relationships with my friend Kane, who's a comedian, a young guy. And that's called Don't Take Bullshit from Fuckers. and we started that just kind of as a lark.
I mean, what could that be about? Is it anything like the title?
I mean, it's pretty clear what we're on about.
Yeah.
Kane's a funny guy and a friend, and it had more of it was just one of the things that I missed about when I was doing the podcast with my wife was it just never got to be super funny. We were serious, and it was serious, not that my wife isn't funny or that I'm not funny, but it just wasn't funny.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do something that was silly, that had an element of like, we're helping people and we're definitely trying to put a message out there of taking care of yourself and not tolerating bullshit and all that. But at the same time, too, we want to talk about the Batman trailer, and we want to talk about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just the way a couple of guys would do in typical podcast format.
How do you, Kane, your co-host, how do you know him?
I met Kane. I went on his wife. His wife has a very big podcast called Self-Helpless.
Oh.
And I went on her podcast, and she's a comic. His ex-wife, they're now divorced, which is something that we talk about on the podcast.
Yes. I listened to a few episodes, and I heard that reference.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm making the connection.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Kelsey Cook is her name.
Yes.
Very good comic.
Yep, I know exactly who that is.
Yeah, she's a great comic.
Okay.
And she's a nice girl. And I was sad when they split up, but I went on her podcast, and she said, "You need to meet my husband. I think you guys would be friends." And we met and became fast friends.
Oh, yeah. A friend setup.
That was a friend setup. Yeah, totally. And he's a good chunk younger than I am, so we have a lot to talk about.
Sure. Different perspectives.
Yeah. Now he's dating, and so the show gets to explore all of what he's going through. And
yeah, I can tell you as someone who once went from being married to dating again, and then now I'm married again. Yeah, that's wild.
It's a hard shift, isn't it?
Holy crap.
Yeah, he's having a tough time with it. And the thing about him is he's funny and he's popular and he gets girls sending him pictures. Like, I get to live vicariously through his life. Nobody's sending me pictures. Not that I'm not asking for them. This is not a call to have.
Yeah, you're soliciting them. That's what this is.
Not soliciting pictures. But he gets sent pictures and lots of fan mail and all that kind of stuff, and it's kind of funny, and he's trying to figure it out.
Sure. Yeah, I mean it has to help having social media now, as part of your tools,
yeah.
I guess.
Well, for somebody who listens to the podcast, they already know a little bit about you, so they have some sense of whether they like you or not.
Yeah.
And so the girls decide they like him, and then sometimes they send fucking nudes. They just send them. Girls are doing that. Like, I get that dudes do that. I had no idea that a woman would just unsolicited send you some nudes.
I recently, I had a job in radio for years, and I had, started off the lowest of the low.
Yeah.
I answered phones. And maybe got my voice on the air once a week. Yeah. I mean, it was 99% behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But I had a little bit of status just being connected to the show, and I would talk to people calling in, like, hey, they want to get on the air. I would talk to them on the phone and try to, screen if they're worthy of getting on the phone. Anyway, some people would call in very lonely and just want to talk. And sometimes women, it was women who sometimes it was guys, truckers who just were so lonely and just wanted to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
And sometimes it was women who were super lonely and looking for a relationship. I recently found pictures that a woman sent me. I did not ask for nudes. And this is before, like, she, I bet at the time, I don't know if either of us were either on social media or for how, like, the extent of its existence. The pictures she sent me, Greg, she's sitting naked in a bathtub. In the bathtub, you can see the ring around the bathtub of how dirty it is. Like, it's not flattering at all.
No, there's been a whole we became friends with. There's a super huge podcast called Girls Gotta Eat.
Yeah.
Do you know Girls Gotta Eat?
Yeah.
And they had me on their show, and then the next week, our listenership quadrupled. Like, it just went. They get 2 million listeners an episode.
Wow.
2 million.
Wow.
And they're really funny single girls that talk about dating and all that kind of stuff. And so we had Raina come on our show, and she was giving Kane advice about how to take a dick pic and what women like. And there's this whole thing about gray sweatpants, about how women prefer gray sweat, like an outline shot in a pair of gray sweatpants.
In photos, a great
rather than just putting it out there,
Oh.
Yeah.
Is there something with, like, casting a shadow or something?
I guess there's just something about, like, and it was just funny that it was gray sweatpants, which to me just seems like such a fail. To me, gray sweatpants say, I'm not doing anything today.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything. I've got no plans.
I slept in these.
Like, I don't work out in gray. I work out in black. Like, I don't wear gray sweatpants for any other reason unless I've just quit. Whatever. If I've just given up, I just put on gray sweatpants. But that's apparently like a thing.
Yeah. Amazing.
So then Kane got sent gray sweatpants from listeners, and it's crazy. It's just crazy. So
I listened to 2 of the more recent episodes, not that one, not the one that you were giving some details of with the guest there, but did I hear? Is there merch involved in this podcast as well?
Yes, there's a lot of merch.
A lot of merch?
Yeah. We have a phrase that's always be blocking.
Yeah.
We're telling people all the time, just block people. Nothing more powerful than blocking
Okay,
people.
so that is, because I heard that reference. That's the story behind that.
Yeah. And then...
No, are you talking about blocking, like, literally, like, blocking on social media, or just blocking them out of your life?
Both.
Okay.
Essentially, both. But blocking people on social media, that's a very powerful thing. It feels good to do that, and it's good. It is good to do that.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of that, so how are you using social media in 2021?
God, barely.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed you're, like, Twitter, you've dropped, not at all?
Twitter, I got locked out of and couldn't get back in and just quit. I got locked out of it. I couldn't get back in. I tried to get them to help me get my account back. Nobody responded to me, and I just quit.
No shit.
And, I was just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
And
you're surviving.
And I post, once a week on Instagram, maybe.
Yeah.
I do a lot of retweets of things. Like, the show has its own podcast, so I retweet that. But yeah, my social media is next to nil.
Yeah.
Just not interested anymore.
Okay.
Really. Yeah.
How about looking at other people's?
What's that?
Do you, open up other people's social media accounts to get information, or
No, not really.
No.
I have a Facebook page that I never use. I always go there, and there's people who've been asking me. Someone will ask me to do a show, and it'll be like weeks ago because I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just sort of gave up on all that stuff. I don't know why. It just didn't interest me anymore. It seemed like a lot of wasted time.
Yeah.
And there just seemed to be so much fighting, and it was just too much. I was just like, I don't need it.
So do you give that advice to other people then?
Don't use social media?
Yeah.
No.
No?
I think it all depends. There are just people who are good at it, I think. And then I think there's lots of people, most people are just trying to, like, this new social platform just opened up called Clubhouse. Do you know what Clubhouse is?
No.
So Clubhouse is an app where you can go in and people have conversations and you listen to them have conversations. And then you can join the conversation.
Okay.
So it's an audio app. And it started, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago. My wife turned me on to it, and you have to be invited. But like Elon Musk is on there, and Jared Leto, and Justine Bateman, and there's all these people, and they're talking about different things. Sometimes you can listen to a chat about Black Lives Matter, or you can listen to people talk about how you would fix your engine. Or there's just all these conversations, and they're ongoing all the time, and then you get invites to come to them. And sometimes you get invited to speak, to be one of the people that participates.
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of fascinating. So I was doing that. But what I noticed immediately is that there were people there, just like there are on every site, trying to sell how to get fixed in 5 days, and how to become an entrepreneur, and all that kind of mid-level just garbage that you weed through.
Yeah. Yeah.
People trying to sell you some kind of lifestyle.
So, so along those lines, you have a product that you're basically selling now. These life coaching things, right?
Yes. That was something that somebody suggested I try because of my following.
Yeah.
And because of the pandemic and not being able to go out and do stand-up. And so I offered my services as a life coach. And I took a life coach certification class.
You did? Okay. I was going to ask you that.
Yeah, for fun, really, because you don't need one. It's not a certified profession. So
on my really short prepping for the podcast, that's what I learned, that some do that as a career and there is no certification. And not necessarily required.
No, it's not really a job. It's a little snake oil. It's a little snake oily. Like, I even learned myself, like, what I'm doing, like, what I'm good at helping people with and what I'm not good. I'm good at talking through a relationship with somebody. I'm good at saying to somebody, look, this isn't working for you. This is, you're wasting your time, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then I started to get comics that were on the road that wanted to talk. And then I just got people that wanted to talk, really. And so it's not a full-blown profession, but it's something I do on the side that sort of feels good when I do it, and it's something I'm good at,
Yeah.
But I don't have a program. I don't have a lifestyle that I'm selling. I don't have some tenets to live by. It's just all sort of critical thinking.
Yeah. So initially, your education on this was just your life, living your life.
Just living my life and having written relationship books.
Yeah.
And this girl who's a coach, and she's got thousands of people, and she makes a ton of money, and she was like, "Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you coaching?" And I was like, "I don't know. It just hadn't occurred to me."
So can you name, like, who's the average person that's talking to you?
It's hard to say.
Really?
Give
me like a there's all the way from a 70-year-old this to a 20-year-old this.
I get a lot of women in their mid-30s who have never been able to find the right relationship.
Okay.
I get a lot of one-off phone calls, where you just do one call with people who've just recently been through breakups and are struggling with what to do next.
Yeah.
Or trying to, use the no contact rule and not get involved.
Yeah.
And then the people that have been long-time clients are guys that are comics that want to write.
Okay.
So we talk about their act, and we talk about writing, and then they just tell me personal things and, that kind of stuff.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. I don't know that, like, but I'm also very wary of it as well. You know what I mean? Because I do think there's a lot of people out there selling ideas that are just garbage.
So I take that as like you're honest with somebody. If you don't have the right answer,
I'm not a therapist. Absolutely, I'm not a therapist. I
actually wrote that down. Therapy versus life coaching.
Yeah, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a licensed therapist, which gives me the leeway to just have my own opinion.
Yeah,
and to be able to, like when you are a therapist, you can't diagnose somebody else's husband. But I can if I want.
Sure.
I can diagnose your husband for you. I can tell you he's an alcoholic.
Right.
In my opinion, in my humble opinion.
Yeah. Do you have any advice for a wife and a ex-wife and current wife that don't get along? Just kidding.
I mean, that's a tough one. That's a tough one, Are there kids involved?
Yep.
Well, you got to remember that the kids are the priority.
Yep.
And that you should, you also don't have to love the next person. You just have to sometimes deal with them as, professionally. Just do it professionally.
I like that. Speaking of the other profession, is the reason why you're here at Acme is your profession as a stand-up comedian.
Yes.
How do you think? I was here last night. I loved it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. How about you? Did you love it as much as I did?
I enjoyed it. I had a great time last night. I had a really good time. I thought the crowd was incredibly warm and good. This is only my second week being back. Last week I was in Kansas City.
Okay.
It was my first week back, and then up until that point I hadn't performed a full hour set anywhere since March.
Wow.
So it had been a long time. So I'm sort of getting my footing. Last night I leaned on some old stuff, but because I just wanted to be comfortable and get through the set.
Yeah. What have you been doing, like, as far as the stretching the comedy muscle and during COVID? I mean, I saw you did some drive-in shows, at least one.
I did one drive-in show.
One drive-in show?
Yes. My God, you're so well researched. I did. It was 600 people. It was 200 cars. At the top of a parking lot in Irvine.
Yeah.
And it was Pete Lee and Chris Fairbanks and Jay Farrow and a girl named Laura Bites.
Okay.
And I can't remember the opener's name. Bless his heart. But it was really strange. It was really strange.
Why?
Because people honk.
Yeah.
So you need to tell a joke, they hear the joke, and then they laugh. They're not laughing while you're doing the joke, which is, and so much of what I do relies on my face and my enthusiasm and the way I behave on stage.
Yeah.
I found Zoom shows to be just a nightmare. I just couldn't get the same performative qualities doing a Zoom show that I do when I perform here.
Sure.
So, but it was fun to do. I was glad to be asked. There was a big screen behind us, so you were like, we were on this little stage, and then there was a gigantic drive-in movie-size film of us behind us doing the set.
Strange.
So it was weird. Yeah, it was really weird.
And the whole honking,
the honking thing was so weird, and people sitting in the back of trucks and stuff. But that's how bad people want it, is that they were willing to drive to the top of a parking lot to.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
And most people did pretty well.
How is it looking for the rest of the year for you? Are you optimistic that things are opening up, or?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's weird how many people are out in the world. Like, I've been so at home, so to get on an airplane and to see lots of people walking around and to fly and to then go to a hotel and stay somewhere and come out and see people out, it's weird because it hasn't been my experience.
Right.
I am optimistic. It seems like people are getting the shots. It seems like, I have some friends that have gotten them, and they're young, so
yeah, okay.
They were like, there's that thing where there's extra.
Oh yeah, like the end of the day.
Yeah, at the end of the day, there's extra stuff, and then they do like a, hey, we're giving shots here if you want to come get one.
Yeah.
So I think there will be enough eventually.
I think so.
You know, and I think people are eager to get back out into the world.
Oh, I definitely agree with that. So I was the pattern that you've been on coming to Acme.
Mm-hmm.
It was you were here in 2016, then you were here in 2018, and last time you were here, I commented about, so I'll expect you to you'll be back here in 2020, and your reply was, unless it's on some rhythm we don't understand. How accurate was that?
Holy shit!
Huh?
God, I'm Nostradamus, man. That's incredible.
So what else do you know
I
about
don't
the
know.
Future? Greg? Tell me.
I don't
Help
know.
us out here. What's the next Bitcoin? Make us money.
Oh, God, I wish I could, man. I wish I knew that myself. Unless we're on some rhythm I don't know about. Yeah. Isn't that interesting?
Huh?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder what you were actually getting at. Maybe nothing, but it fits.
Yeah.
It fits really well.
It totally fits.
It fits really well. First thing when I went and one of the first things every day, if I have time, is I'll look at the latest news that I might have missed overnight or the next day or whatever. The first news story I saw this morning was, this is the most Minnesota story I could think of right now. It presented itself to me. Toro recalls 6,700 snowblowers due to amputation hazard.
Jesus.
Yeah. And my first thought is, isn't every snowblower an amputation hazard?
Holy shit. I don't know. How does that happen? How do you lose a limb with a snowblower?
Yeah. So it has a thing. Apparently, this one, when you turn it off, it has been known to keep spinning.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So maybe, you're going to clear out the old snow, or you're thinking you're just reaching down. I don't know. But my first thought was, don't they all have that risk?
Fuck.
Right?
It's true.
Right?
Yeah.
What's the most dangerous?
That's got to be a tough day over at Toro.
Right?
We've got an amputation problem, guys. Don't say amputation in this room. Don't say amputation in this room.
They probably have a sign at the door. The words not to be spoken in this building.
Yeah, amputation is one of them. Holy shit.
I had a roommate in college. We were sitting around. He's like, I've ever showed you this? He takes his shoes and socks off, and he was missing 2.5 toes because of something similar with a lawnmower.
Jesus.
He had a story about pushing a lawnmower up a hill. It came back on him, and he sliced off the top of his head. Yeah.
God.
Can you think of anything like that in your life? What's the dangerous thing in your house that you should not be messing with?
The thing that slices potatoes. What's it called? That really thin slice.
Yeah.
What is that thing called? It's got a name.
It's not a mandolin, but something like that.
It's something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. that thing. I don't do that. I won't even cut. My wife won't let me cut bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, like French loaves. Like she's like, you're just not. Let me do it.
You know what just came to mind. I was at a one of these small little like neighborhood grocery stores, like on a corner, really small one. They had a deli in the back. I went in there to get some deli meat, and the guy's like, they don't have it sliced yet. So he puts it on the meat slicer, and it's going back and forth and slicing, and it's taking a long time. And I look up, and blood is just all over his hands.
Oh, no.
Yes!
Oh, my God.
And he finished the job and freaking got me my meat.
Ew.
I know!
I would be like, no, thanks, man. Not this one. No. Oh, shit.
No. I never ate it.
Yeah, I watch a lot of cooking shows.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And
there's people are always cutting themselves.
Yeah.
That's like just one of the hazards you got to live with, is that you're going to get blood on your food.
Now, why are you watching cooking shows? Because you love food? You love
that's
you
the
are
weird
a
part.
cook?
No, I'm not a cook. I don't even really love food that much. Like I'm not like a foodie. You know what I mean? I don't take a lot of risks. I have a very specific diet, but I love watching people cook, and I love watching people compete to cook, and I have no idea why. It's like Xanax for me. It just fucking relaxes me. I can't. Yeah, and I've watched everything. I watch all of MasterChef, all of MasterChef Junior, all of Top Chef, all of the Great British Baking Show.
Even the kid ones, huh?
The kid ones are the best.
Really?
Oh, they're the best. These kids are incredible, and they're fun. they're really fun reality show contestants. That's the thing. During quarantine, I've fallen in love with reality television.
Is that
Certain types of reality television. I love the ones where there's a couple, one called Rust Valley, which is just these guys that live up in Canada and restore cars, and they're trying to keep their business afloat. And there's one called Car Masters, which is this company that makes hot rods. And
you're not a car guy, but you like watching this.
I'm not a car guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I do love cars, but I don't own or fix or tinker with. Yeah, no, I don't know anything about it. There was a glass blowing competition called Blown Away.
Yes,
it's fucking great.
It's
great. I love great reality show casting. I love when you get people that you can empathize with or like, or that are strange, or that you're pulling for. I love. I do love all the Survivors, but the thing that I'm really embarrassed about that I just got into that I promised I never would was The Bachelor. I watched The Bachelorette because when Kane was married to Kelsey, they watched every season.
Yeah.
So Kane was still watching it, and I called him an idiot. And he goes, "You should watch one." And so for the sake of the podcast, I thought, all right, I'll watch one, and then I'll be able to say that it's stupid or whatever. I'm not going to get hooked. And I got immediately hooked. I'm just a fucking
sickness.
sap. It is, and it's a terrible show. They're horrible people.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't work.
So many of those people aren't in there looking for a real relationship.
No, they want more followers on Instagram. They're all influencers.
They want to be on TV.
Yeah.
It's what's casting at the time.
Yeah. Because a lot of those people still work in the show.
Yeah.
In the Bachelor Nation is what I'm told it's called. But this season of the current Bachelor that's on right now, it's the first time they've had a black Bachelor.
Okay.
And they found a contestant that's in there that he's really falling for, who has a totally racist past.
What?
Went to antebellum dances. Liked QAnon posts.
No.
Yeah. Parents are big supporters of Trump's.
This is tailor-made for 2021.
They have her dressed. She's dressed as an American Indian for Christmas.
No.
I mean, not for Christmas, for Halloween.
No.
Yeah. And
there's
then
there's a contestant from Minnesota. They're putting, I see headlines here and there. That's not the one from Minnesota, I hope.
No, she's not from Minnesota. She's from Georgia, of course. She's from Georgia, I believe. And and then Chris Harrison defended her, and now he's got to step down as the host.
Oh, okay. That's what yes, okay, I did see that.
He
yes.
went his conservative side came out, and he was like talking about the woke police.
Right.
And then,
did you know this about Chris Harrison?
No, I could never really, because I have only just watched the show this year, I didn't love him.
Yeah.
I love the dude from Survivor.
Oh, Probst.
I think Probst is great.
He's great.
I love Probst.
Mm-hmm, I do too.
And I like the guy from the Amazing Race. He's good too. They're good hosts, and what they do, they're real pros.
Yep.
Harrison doesn't do anything for me, but this whole side came out, and I was like, okay, that's what was bugging me.
Isn't that great? There was something.
There was something there in the back of my head that said, "Don't trust this guy."
I love it, and then it reveals itself.
Yeah. So now he's stepping down. So it's a whole thing. It's a whole to-do. And I think the reason he was so defensive about this girl is, I think this girl might end up being the Bachelorette, without this guy knowing any of this stuff about her.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he knows it now.
Yeah.
But it's already been shot.
Uh-huh.
So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens.
You'll be tuning in to find out.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Well, when I met my wife, not wet my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
She sucked me into a reality show that I was like, well, I'll give it a shot just to sit here and hang out with her. And now I'll be like, are we going to watch Teen Mom on MTV?
No.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. I will be the one that reminds us, it was on last night and we could watch it now.
Is Teen Mom.
Teen Mom OG, and Teen Mom 2.
Wow.
Yes.
And they're just teen moms.
Yeah, now they're in their 30s.
Now they're in their 30s.
Yeah.
But they were teen moms.
Mm-hmm.
16 and because it's been on for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And some of those, it hasn't gone well for all of those people.
Oh,
right?
God, no. It's gone
poorly
terribly
for some of them. I see them.
Oh, they're.
I only know about it when it ends up in TMZ.
Right. Or they're announcing, the fourth child with the fourth significant other.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's It's wild.
Television doesn't make them better.
No.
You keep thinking being on TV will turn people into better people because they'll get a chance to look at themselves and then grow.
Okay, Greg, we're almost out of time here, but here's what I'm going to pose to you. So, what do you say to people? I guess this isn't a relationship thing, but do you have any? What do you say to someone who compares themselves to either their friends or just anything? Like, for example, someone I know just posted on Facebook the other day that they bought a house. This person is kind of a dingbat. And this person somebody stepped in and told them to save money or whatever they did, and now they're young and they just bought a house. I'm very happy for them. Kind of jealous.
Yeah.
Kind of jealous.
Yeah.
My house, my ex-wife lives in, and I rent the place I live in, and some putting yourself up against someone else. Like, oh, I wish I had that.
It's tough. We rent, and a friend of mine just bought and just posted pictures of the place and all that. And I had to look away.
Yeah.
I just look away. Nope, not for me.
Yeah.
Don't need to go there. I love my life. I love my family. I am what I am. I'm doing what I'm doing. We'll just keep going.
Yeah.
My advice is to just stay on your own page. Just do your own homework.
Yeah.
Their life is complicated and difficult too in other ways, and
Yeah, I like that. One of the things this is the final thing I'm going to throw out, and I just love this. I think more people. I could learn a lot from. How do I want to say this? I should live by this motto more, and it's something I wrote down that you said in the last time we talked, and it said you don't get anything out of hating something.
No. Yeah, you don't get anything out of hating something.
And I think that as time goes on, sometimes I'm getting a little more like, nah, I hate that.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about that.
That was my whole thing with The Bachelor. I was like, look, you haven't investigated it. You don't know what it is.
Yeah.
What if you end up liking it?
Mm-hmm.
I like it because of how demonic it is and how blatantly the producers have set people up to fail.
Yeah.
There's, and put people in positions of fighting and creating produced moments because they've got to. It's a television program.
Right.
We're all sitting there. We're not just watching people go on happy dates.
No.
That's the thing I like about the competition shows is you don't have to create the drama. The drama's in the competition.
Yeah. The people that are the focus of these teen mom shows. Mm-hmm. I just want to, I'll see them buy these freaking, like this one person on the show has bought a new house every year the last 5 years.
Wow.
And the money is from being, starting off as something I bet they regretted at the time, and now it's led to a mansion.
Wow, yeah.
It's like
some
crazy how things work out.
Yeah. Some people are crafty and smart with
right?
what they do. Yeah.
Like, damn, I was responsible.
Yeah.
Well, I was so freaking careful, and
yeah.
I want to have things worked out, but boy, that part hasn't.
My next thing is to create a cooking competition show.
That's
my next thing is to create a reality show. I had a reality show. I had 2 reality shows back in the day, but I want to do a cooking competition show that's a relationship show where you're cooking to go on a date with somebody. Like it's 4 people competing for the heart of one person, and they have to do it through their cooking. And the person gets to taste their food and then eliminate them.
I love it.
Yeah. I'm in the food for love.
I like this.
That's my current project.
Okay. Is there anything else? Any more books? Not that you have to. You've already done so much.
No more books right now.
More books.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't. I'm not really in the mood for a book. I sort of want to work in television, but I don't want to be the star or something. I just want to go and produce.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're working on that?
Yeah.
Getting some stage time when you can?
Getting some stage time too. Stand up always, whenever stand up's available.
Yep.
Keep working on stuff.
Yeah. And we should let people know that the last time you were here in 2018, you recorded an album.
I did.
Here.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I did it here, and it was, and it's pretty good. It wasn't the best night of the week, unfortunately.
Oh no,
it wasn't. I got heckled during the middle of it, but I made it work. But
the one that you released, you're heckled?
Yeah.
I listened to it recently.
Somebody said something. We talk. It's not like a heckle.
Okay.
But it was like somebody started talking during it.
Okay.
It's good. I wish it was better, if I'm being totally honest.
Yeah.
It's called Why Are You In Here? And
which is a great joke.
Thank you. And I'm still doing some of that material. And yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, is trying to like, I want to get back on the. I write on stage, so I need to be on stage to turn the act over.
Okay. Yeah. That's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it. People need to come to the shows here.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, through the weekend.
Through the weekend.
Through the weekend here
Come
at
out.
Acme.
Yeah.
Follow you on social media.
Yeah.
And keep an eye out for the cooking show that's going to come who knows when.
Who knows, but look for it.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Greg.
Thanks, man.